This is the dreaded monthly workbook. It has all the data, one tab for each month. And I'm expected to make a pivot table by combining all of this data in one set. Today, let me show you how we can use Excel to do this task. I'm also going to show you what happens when we add a new tab to this workbook, how to automatically update our pivot tables whenever such new data is introduced. Let's go. I'm going to make my combined pivot report in a separate workbook. That way, we can use the monthly workbook to just maintain the data. So we're going to make a new file. And in this new file, go to data and then get data from file from Excel workbook. Point to the monthly workbook file that has all our individual monthly worksheets and click on import. It's going to show me all the monthly worksheets here. Now the problem is I don't need any one of them. I need all of them. To begin with, I'm just going to pick any one month. It doesn't matter which one you pick, and then go to transform data option. This will open the Power Query editor and then shows me the April month's data. It looks all right, but like I mentioned earlier, we don't need just April data. We need all the data. So on the query settings here, we'll see that we have got a source step and a navigation step. The navigation step is the one that took us to the April data. So let's delete that step and then go back to the source. You can see here that in the data column, we have got all these tables, one for each month. So Jan's table is here, likewise Feb, March, etc. As we need all of the data, I'm just going to go here and click on the expand button here. And it will show me all the 6 columns of data that we have. We are just going to expand everything out and uncheck this use original column name option. And we will get all the data. While all the data is here, it is in a very clumsy format. To begin with, the headers are all mashed together with the data itself. So we have got a header row here for Jan, and then one more header row for Feb. Likewise, it will continue. I'm also noticing a lot of null values, probably because the data has some blank rows at the end. So we are going to do some quick cleanup activity first. We'll start by taking the row number 1 as the header. For this, home, and use first row as header option. And then any subsequent headers we would like to remove. So we can go to something like a salesperson column, and if I delete all the null values from there, anything that doesn't have a value will go off. We'll still need to delete the salesperson headers that appear at every month. So we can repeat the same filter option again, but this time look for that word salesperson and uncheck that as well. At this point, all the data that we need is in a neat tabular format. We have got salesperson, country, product, date, amount, and boxes. We also have some other additional columns that are not required. So I'm gonna go to choose columns in the home ribbon and just select the columns that I need. Next up, let's quickly adjust the formatting. Right click on the column header, choose change type and select the data type that you want. And finally, rename this query as combined data. At this point, we are good to go. So I'm gonna click on close and load and bring all the consolidated data into my Excel file. Remember, this is a brand new Excel file and this is where all the consolidated data is. Time to make some pivot reports. Our first pivot report is to see how well we are doing with our products. So I'm going to click on summarize with pivot table option here. And in this, we'll put product, amount, apply some formats, and then sort this in the largest to smallest. We can see that Raspberry Choco is our highest selling product. And further down here, we have got Almond Choco at the lowest value. And a total of $15 million sales. We can break this down by date and then see how the numbers are changing every month. This is a standard report that we would like to make every month. So once I make this pivot table, I do a little bit of formatting on it. For example, go to home, conditional formatting, and apply a color scale on this and extend the color scale to all cells showing the values. so that we can quickly spot highest values. So for example, here organic choco syrup, in the month of May we had a big surge. Likewise, we would also like to make a pivot table on our salesperson performance. So here salesperson, amount and boxes. I'm going to apply currency formatting on the amount column and number formatting on the boxes column. Let's also sort the table by amount. And finally, let's add data bars on the amount column so we can spot the highest selling salesperson quite easily. And for this report, we would like to see the information at a country level. So we can add country as a slicer. And now I can see what's happening in New Zealand, India, or USA. For example, in USA, Denison is our highest selling salesperson, whereas in New Zealand, it's Brian. Let's see what happens when the next month comes over. So far we have the data up to June, but now let's add the July data to our combined file. So I'm going to open our monthly workbook and add the July worksheet. So this is the July worksheet. It is added. I'm just going to move it to the end, save this file, and then close this file. Let's open the combined pivot workbook that had all our reports. And now let's bring the July data. For this, all we need to do is right click on this table and then say refresh. And when the refresh is complete, you can see from the filter here that all our July data has come through. Now we can go back to one of these pivot tables, it doesn't matter which one, and go to the data ribbon and click on refresh all to bring in the July data here. When you refresh one of the pivots, all the pivots will be automatically updated and you will have updated reports here. But what if your data is not as clean cut as what I have here? Maybe your tables are not exactly same every month. The headers don't match or the formatting is different. Even then you can use Power Query. I have a video on the channel that explains the process of using Power Query even when your headers are not matching. Check out that for more on Power Query. I'll catch you there. Bye.